How's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Yamsy Boy, and we're here for day 8 of Nier Replicant. While I was off stream, I finished doing the remaining side quests, and also upgraded the Phoenix Spear to the final level. So all that's left is to go to the Shadowlord's castle and stab ourselves the Shadowlord. So let's go. We're probably getting that first ending today. You know, barring some twist happening that prevents me from actually finishing the Shadowlord off. We shall see.
Oh there.
Let's go. These armored dudes are the most obnoxious thing. Oh, is the other one dead? Alright. Stab. I'm charging up these lances, but I'm not really needing them all that much. Stab. Hell yeah. Yeah, I made the very valuable discovery yesterday that the hold attack on Triangle breaks enemy guards and then stabs them a lot really fast. Information I could have used a little sooner, right before, the end of the game, but hey. Bruh. And those follow-up stabs tend to knock them on the ground, which allows for a finishing blow, which I've yet to see... Well, no, wait, I've seen it not kill something once. Yeah, those finishing blows are really strong on hard. Strength capsule. And up we go again. Oh, I didn't hold it long enough. I can't wait to fight the Shadowlord. I love his boss track. It's one of my favorite songs in the game. It's so good. Oh, hi there. Could you not? Nah. Nah, dude. Oh, I didn't know I was playing Soulsborne. Apparently I'm invincible while I'm opening doors. Oh, come on. I think I had to go through these rooms, right? That just ends in the dead end with the roots, or branches, I believe. Yeah, okay. Excuse me. Damn, 3 recovery potions. Sure. Rude. Oh, we gotta... What is that? Flashy hat? Okay. Like a red mage's hat? Because I'd wear that. Alright, we're right at the roof. So we're almost there. Go away. Shoot. Have I seen the AF gear? I probably have. I mean, I watched the Job Actions trailer, and I imagine they were probably wearing their AF gear for that, but I don't remember what it looked like. Not that it matters. I'm a Vieira. I can't wear the swanky hat anyway. Nah. Why can't Vieiras have nice things? Ah, guess that's a dead end. I didn't know there was a media thing. You don't remember the job action trailer? We were talking about it. Or it just showed all the new animations and shit. I may as well kill these guys. I'm really close to leveling up. Oh, not the gear they were wearing. Okay, that same. That's pretty much where I'm at. Only 1,200 more. Like another batch of armored dudes, and we'll have it. Oh. Perfect. Oh, you got up. There we go. Alright, here we go. I don't remember if this is just a boss fight or if it's like an actual final dungeon. I guess we'll find out. I think it's just a fight.
Such an ominous sight, and yet I find it strangely nostalgic.
Yeah, this is where Vice and I first met. First fought together.
Wow! This is where you used to live, Vice?
Well, yes, I suppose. In a technical sense.
That's where he existed.
Pretty nice digs for a floating magazine.
At least it was free from annoying hussies like yourself.
Alright, children.
And now the path is open.
Maybe it is a dungeon. Okay, invisible walls everywhere. Oh, nah, dude. Nah. You're not catching me in a loop. I ain't doing it. Was that statue whole last time? Let's see if another statue crumbles when I go through the door again. Oh, what we got here? Oh, hell yeah. I finally have the full Phoenix set. Great. Nope, another statue did not crumble.
Okay, hold on. Is it just me, or are we looping around the same path over and over?
Oh, we definitely are.
What do you mean?
I think he means we're stuck.
There must be an escape route somewhere.
I know, it's obviously to the bird bath.
To whom does the true voice speak?
I was joking. For the record.
To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
What the hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I have heard this somewhere before. To whom I ask, why did you must...
Because of a black disease. Was it a black disease? I thought it was a white disease, like, you know, Pillars of Salt stuff.
I answer, because of a black disease. I ask, how can humans extend their lives?
Probably this?
I answer, by separating body from soul. I ask, what is the destination of souls? I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells. Very well. You are acknowledged as master. You may enter.
I don't like some of the implications that came from those answers.
Well then, it seems the way is open.
What have we been stabbing the whole game? Devila and Popola? Well, hello. The hell?
It's the twins from your village.
Popola? Devila? What are you doing here?
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yoni here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad.
Twin boss time?
We didn't want to fight you. We really didn't want to.
Oh snap.
Devila, what's happening?
Sorry, but this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so. Until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so.
It's a lie. I don't believe it.
No, I don't think they're
This
shades.
powerful.
This is madness.
But there is definitely something sus about them.
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Weiss. You are a traitor.
A traitor in what sense?
What now?
Well, I guess I'm not going to be able to use magic for a bit.
They copied my powers.
Oh, okay.
Shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place. You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Vice, are you all right?
Popola! Why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the Shades?
Hey, that's my punch. What now?
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadowlord.
The Shadowlord? So you've been on his side this whole time?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now. Please, enter the Shadowlord's castle.
Oh. Bye. Well, okay then.
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay?
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Well,
Vice?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Vice. I am Popola.
Sure about that? I don't know. Something about that sounds ever so slightly not fine.
I think I hear a waltz.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
Yeah.
They're all Shades!
Hi there.
I think we're locked in.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
Excuse me. They got a... Will you stop that? Freaking Shades using rollout over here. Ooh, armor break plus 30. May as well pop a strength drop. Oh. Didn't see those guys. Oh. Well, I popped another one. Didn't mean to.
Damn it! Don't stop coming!
I'll
Giggity.
open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good...
What?
Oh, right. Protect the hustle, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us.
Ooh, experience plus 30%.
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
You look like a lot of things, but I wouldn't say locksmith is one of those things.
No, you idiot. What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool.
Damn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
Stab? No, no, not stab. It's just a bunch of those little cannons. Rude.
These things are freaking me out! Kaine! What's wrong?
We need to help Kaine.
Working on it.
We need to help Kaine.
I think these things might just respawn forever.
You okay?
Yeah. Well, we got problems.
Oh, come on. The normal pigs were enough of a pain. No one told me I had to fight Ganon.
We don't need forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
What's the deal with the red jewel on his back? Oh, shockwave.
How should I know?
Kaine, are you alright?
I'm fine. Let's just kill some shit and move on, alright?
Sounds good to me.
Damn it! How can something so big be so fast?
Oh dear.
Oh, and now there's an armored one. Of course. Well, I may as well equip my experience words. I don't know if these things even give drops. Still don't have anything better than Pahil. This one actually seems less tough than the one that had no armor. At least as long as I hit it. What's happening? Ah. I guess it can do that. Oh, we're hurting it.
Stay focused, Kaine.
There we go again.
Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going! Let's go! This way! Move!
Alright. Ooh. Dragoon Lance. Looks kind of plain, but it looks like it might be pretty decent if it's leveled up. Yeah, I'm coming. I should have known.
Please, hurry!
I'm hurrying. Hurrying so much I'm not even bringing the boxes. Okay. Looks like it's one hit kill. So I just have to move fast.
Up here! Please, hurry!
Okay, what now?
Damn it, I can't get it open!
Well, it is a big metal door.
Attack incoming!
This entrance is locked too!
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Came this far only to be done in by a pig. Feels bad. Wait. Facade people? Men of the Mask? The hell are y'all doing here? How did you get here? Well, now you see why.
What are you doing here?
You are correct.
But
Yeah, I'll do that as soon as you get that door open. Alright, just keep stabbing it, boys. You got it.
hey, stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no! No! Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own!
Just keep stabbing him. It's cool.
Open the damn door!
Thanks, you needed that.
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Let him die for nothing.
Hey, who said anything about him dying?
My friend.
He'll be fine. He just has to do what I did. Poke, 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 poke. Health salve, health salve. Health salve. This is giving me final area vibes. Hi again.
Devil. Fopala.
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1,300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt. Do you still not remember, Rimmer of Ice? Then let's give you a refresher.
Yeah, I can't read that fast.
Bryce! I remember. Devla. Opala. You are not human. In fact... Oh no.
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us, every person standing in this room, are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades.
Ah, well. Oops. Well, maybe if they didn't try killing me all the time.
Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry.
Here we go again. I figured it was going to be something like that. We're not living in a simulation, but we are fake
We're the same.
existences.
Tools in the hands of a master.
No. I'm nothing like you.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a battle version of the song they sang in that one side quest. Fuck yes.
Devila? Devila?
Maybe next time create shells that can't develop their own personalities and beings.
No! Don't die! You know, Opala, I understand now why we're twins. It's because because we're born without souls.
Woo, lad.
Devla!
Is that how twins work?
Oh god, I can't stop it!
What bleeding?
It's too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. Devla! Devla! Don't you go! No, no, I can't be alone! Devla!
Oops. Didn't want to kill them.
Let's stop this now.
Stop. Stop. Now you want to stop? You want Yuri to stop? You cut down my sister, you goddamn animal, and now you want to stop?
Hey, you attacked
No way.
us.
It doesn't have to. No one stops. It's way too late to stop. No one stops.
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and
Oh,
Devil
shit.
were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither from time immemorial. Cruelness of such a fate is difficult to imagine.
I don't want to do this! I don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting. It's the only way.
And now the song only has one singer. Sorry, Popola.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
Damn.
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
Wait, you could do that the whole time?
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for everything.
Now, everyone's dropping one by one.
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something.
No!
Now get going, okay?
Emil.
Hey, you're the one in charge of the
Don't
magic.
worry about me.
You get us
I'm
going.
gonna be fine.
Emil! Emil!
Bump.
Emil! You jackass, get back here! Emil!
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn. I want to see you again. I want to see all of you again. Just one more time.
You saw us like 10 seconds ago, though.
I'm scared. I don't want to die.
Well, then good news. I've played Nier Automata. It's not to say he doesn't die in this ending. How did the staff survive? Dude got crushed into a singularity and his staff's just like clink. Yeah, everyone's dying. Shit sucks, yo. It's about right.
Let's go.
You might have to give him a second to recover from that beating you just gave him. Oh, are you serious? Okay, what's a good magic for this situation? Execution? You know, this is hitting a little different now that I know I'm killing humans. Not that that was really that big a twist. Oh, hell yes. put that on my stick right away. Although, from what it sounds like, they're not actually humans. They used to be humans, but they've, like, decayed over time or something. Is it time? It might be. It's time. I know that track. One of my favorite in the game.
Yona!
Let me guess. That's Nier's actual soul. Or the soul intended to inhabit Nier's body.
Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
Here we go again.
How can a mere tool hope to stand against the Shadowlord?
Let me change my magic back to Lance.
A fool? I am nothing like you.
Nobody's home.
Be careful!
I know!
Mushy mushy. I adore this track segment. It's so good.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I am as fit as a fit.
Oh. Thought I could get a finishing strike on him. Of course, I wouldn't be as fortunate as that. Phase 2?
Wait.
Don't tell me you developed Stockholm Syndrome.
Brother.
Aw, shit.
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
His
Well,
father
not
is
exactly.
too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
What are you doing? Don't jump. That would be like the worst solution to this.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to. I'm so very sorry. No matter what.
Don't do it. I swear to God.
I love you.
Wait, if she's already possessed Yona's body, then why does the sun still affect her? I would think the transformation was
Say
complete.
The possessor is gone.
Uh-oh. Don't look at me. I didn't do this.
Watch over Yona for me. Want me to understand your sadness? Think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this!
Oh, shit. Okay. We got new stuff.
Weiss, what's wrong?
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What are you doing? Come to do it. Strike the killing blow.
Working on it.
One moment, please.
You okay?
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Since when have you had limits?
Sorry.
Joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Mush mushy.
Go out of the way. I have one final task.
Why does this have to happen during, like, the climax?
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
I wish you luck, my friend.
Can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name? Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice.
This game is making me feel for a book.
Don't let it go to your head.
Alright, no more music then. I mean, magic. Music.
To defend me. I have a reason to live.
Oh, each time I hit him, it's gonna knock me back, isn't it? And then I have to play bullet hell. Alright, I'm down. Oh shit. Hey, thanks. Knocked me right to him. Hey, so next time you try to come up with a plan to save humanity, maybe don't create vessels that can form their own sense of identity. That kind of came back to bite you in the ass.
Is he all right? Oh God, no.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Vice, where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form.
Then what are you now?
Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely. Your sister is safe. Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her. Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Difficult. But take heart. I know you can do it.
What's my favorite food?
Oh shit.
Cookies.
Okay. Thanks for giving me that freebie.
What's my favorite book?
Vice?
That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place?
Your bedroom?
Home with you.
Close enough.
What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course. Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
Nier. Wait, what? Okay.
Is that you? Is this my body?
It's yours and yours alone.
Look, you've been there before. Where have you gone?
And it has been 5 years.
As you can see.
Have I been asleep this whole time? It's almost like I'm a princess in some fairy tale.
I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Hey, where are you going?
Blimey.
You and your sister. Have a good life, okay?
Where are you gonna go?
Yes,
You could stay with us.
thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of. Personal shit, right? Anyway, take it easy.
Come to think of it, what exactly does it mean for Kaine to be part shade? Does that mean she was like successful at assimilation, or is it like half and half?
For the longest
It's
time,
weird.
I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it.
They killed themselves, sorry. Oh my god, shut up.
Thank you. I love it. It's so sunny today.
It sure is.
Did we get sent back in time somehow? Feels bad. And that is ending 1. But, my boys, this is a Nier game. We're nowhere near through. You know how it goes. Play the game. Oh my fucking god. Anyway, you know how it is. Just play the game like 3 or 4 different times, and then you're done. How many endings in this one? I think 4? I think A, B, C, and D. I'm not sure about that, but that's what I vaguely remember from the first time I played the game. I'm not really sure what to think about the ending that I just got. It raised way more questions than it answered, but I'm sure those will be answered in due time. Okay, so shades are the remnants of souls of humans. That's what we gathered. And everybody in the world that we've seen so far are all vessels that were created to house the souls of humans. Why they ended up developing their own identities separate from human souls, I don't really know. Unless it was just an accidental oversight. Nor do I know why Shades tried to kill, I guess, the Replicants, is what they're called. I don't think we've seen a case where Shade killed a Replicant and then took over the body. People who died stay dead. So yeah, those are a few of the questions I have, but we'll see what the other paths show me. That is a lot of Nwins. I'm starting to think that Vietnam only has a single family. The Nguyen family. You saw a name, you know? Really? What is this reading? This is the credits. We just finished the first ending for Nier. Although, being a Nier game, it's like the first 4 endings. And it's not like they're alternative endings either. They're sequential endings. Ah, Sam Riegel. Alright. Yeah, that does sound familiar. Did I get the ending where I blow myself up? No, that was an automata, and that was funny. Guess I'll save there. Library. Exit clear data save screen, okay. Load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. Okay. A departed mother's diary. Hey Fontano, what's up, dude? Yeah, caught my first stream after returning from my first real day of work. And, I'm tired. Okay, so this B route is going to focus in some way on Kaine.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. And maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway,
Hey, we don't have to do part 1. Let's go. Spent 30 minutes running around in Persona 2. You had to spread a rumor to spawn a demon? Interesting. Kaine's dreams. Discrimination. Oh, is it short story time? It's short story time. Alright. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour, and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce. Gee, I wonder who that could be. Like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin could give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vane slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settles with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vane could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. Oh! Okay. That came out of nowhere. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Oh, so it wasn't just the wind blowing a random rock. It's people. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Why the hell did P2 think that UNC was a better idea for Dead than KO? I don't know. Why not? Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While the villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. He can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt... Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? I mean, yeah, that would be a little disheartening. Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin, and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys. Let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying! He's actually crying! Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it. The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining! Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! That thing could have killed me! The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Oh my god. Really? Fuck off! Stupid spam calls. Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said. Why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. Well, now we see where Kaine got it. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't... Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one. And yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled on them while I was going out shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Of course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. The grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. As long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. That sounds like a death flag. Kaine took her grandmother's hands in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams daily life. How many are there? I guess it might kind of play out different parts of her life up until the present. Anyway, in the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman going about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about the barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma," called Kaine. "You, Kaine," yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so that I can go get water? Shades have been restless lately. I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Hey, I've seen their home. That is nowhere near an acre, alright? It's a decent enough place, I suppose, but it's not an acre. No way. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid strike, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough, and my logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her bucket with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. "Grandma? Grandma, what's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. "Stop that! Just stop!" she cried, breathing heavily. "It ain't like I'm dying." That's another death flag. "Just tired from the trip is all." Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. "Grandma, you're sick, and you need medicine. I'm going to the village." The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. "It's all right," she said. "I'll be fine." Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. "Oh, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up." The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade. Or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. "I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong." She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. "Hey, lady," said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. "Where's the apothecary?" The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. "How dare this thing speak to me?" they seemed to say, but Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. "Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one." "Which way?" Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. "Oh my god," he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak?" The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. "Huh," barked Demo. "That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo." The boy's eyes grew so wide that they seemed ready to fall out of his head. Before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. "You like that picture?" Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her and into nothing as he spoke. "That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead for a long time now." Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. "Pictures are wonderful things," continued the shopkeeper. "They let the ones closest to you live on forever." He shook his head slightly, then looked down at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. "You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw." Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. "Yes, I've heard the rumors about you," he said. "It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandfather, Kali. I know your... That was all kinds of wrong. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town was just deplorable." "Grandma's name is Kali?" thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her head as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. "Your grandmother is an old friend of mine," he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, "and I owe her much. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her." "Yes, I think she would like that very much." Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless, and with enough tiny steps she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. "Back already, are you?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch a portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horse shit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house, as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons and eyed her subject carefully and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, and slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter, you truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you could feel the same happiness. It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of a life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Separation. That doesn't sound good. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned the courage to give the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug. And I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so, this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held out an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn, girl, if a bunch of thieves want to ransack this old place, let 'em come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you had to do it today. We can worry about it some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the Calmetrees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately it seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. You're going to be a true woman soon, Grandma said as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn complaints for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. 3 weeks later, the book might be done soon. Yeah, but it's important. It's a lore. Lore is nice. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. No, I won't have you stay here and keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around. Don't turn around, she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. This is not going to end well. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead, tracing its path with a finger. Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma! Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling to the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her, gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet, and achieved balance through means of a large, armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Okay, that's why she was fighting it when we met her. It's that same shade we first beat in the area. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. "Alright, you bastard," she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. "It's you or me. Let's go." The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. "Grandma!" At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. "She's alive," thought Kaine. "Alive!" Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. "Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up now!" As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One, or both of them, were surely broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. "Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer." Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. "Bastard. Laughing at us?" She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in their suffering. "Yeah, I see your plan." The shade moved its claw slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. "I'm gonna kill this bastard." Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground, blood pouring from multiple wounds, A small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't mess this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on, we have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma, no. No. I said run, God damn it. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers. But then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment, laughing like a madwoman. She leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No. Can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames. All of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. And kill it many more times. Kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between the heartbeats grew longer, and longer, and longer. The book's over! That was really sad.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
Alright, here we go again.
Its anger is great. survived these past 5 years.
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today. My sword is lighter.
It's not the blade but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
Alright. We're done. I wonder if it's ever directly stated what exactly Kaine was bullied for. The only thing that the story really said is that she's different from everyone else. Oh. Here we go. Another chapter. Gently, weakly, softly. The shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Huh, cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are you? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop. No! Don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Cha-cha-cha-cha. I look like that? Oh, God. Oh, God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time. as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish? Like a prayer or something? Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine finally resorted to shouting at the voice in her mind, with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh God, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her leg. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet, and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused, as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck by the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small, whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now, give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. The black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker. Giggity. Eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush her away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Ah, what the hell, sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said I can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter. Then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burned itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, sunshine. I think you and me are going to be good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Oh, so it's like a literal version of Owain from Fire Emblem Awakening's sword hand and twitching. Stop. You gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood, then go out there and shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled air. Stupid idiot girl! You're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a hold of you now. A load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed somehow smaller, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What? You think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. This shade is fun. Absolutely batshit insane, but fun. Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of that bloody part if you don't want... Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So, listen. My name's Tyran. And if you ever need me, I'll just be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now, get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hates, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like... mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the Eyrie arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world.
Alive. Stay alive. Stay alive.
Grandma.
Kaine.
Well, now we know why she said Grandma.
Gotta come back to us.
Also, I think that might be one of the reasons why she's always alone. Like, why she intentionally keeps herself from getting involved with people. She wants to hold on to her hatred so she doesn't become permanently possessed. Because if Tyran's telling the truth and she stops and she becomes complacent, then she gets taken over
You're
forever.
the one calling me, weren't you?
Shit sucks, yo.
You still recognize me?
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
So, how has it been?
5 years.
That's a long time. Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadowlord.
By the way, this is for you.
Seems like we're gonna have to play through most of part 2 again.
Was that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Neil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one. We'll let it wash over us like rain.
Okay, but Kaine can't get
Devil and
too happy.
don't ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious.
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it.
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village. Now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me. As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
What is the matter?
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now.
To be honest, I'm not really sure what the game is getting at with this line. Like, why is that significant? Why are they pointing that out?
never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
I guess sleeping outside is supposed to be a shitty thing.
For the first time in my life, I hated Evelyn. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola.
Yeah, you might want to hold on to those feelings.
Those feelings are pointless in the end.
They're more appropriate than you may realize.
For the sake of the village.
Howdy, I'm Yanzi and I come from the future with knowledge.
The horror of the shades. Really, how can I blame Devil and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself. I should apologize to Kaine and Emil, but what good would that even do? Wait, is that...
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
This didn't happen the first time around.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
Oh, really? Huh. Now that you mention it.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interested. Sorry.
Come on. I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
I think I know what that difference might be.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
She sure is hung up on that.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devil and Popola.
Very well.
I do believe our girl Kaine may in fact be a Futanari. I think that is the difference mentioned.
What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I have not heard you speak much about your mother.
She got the black scroll and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
Not really trans.
It's alright. I can barely remember her face anymore.
This is the only thing I have left of it.
More like intersex rather than trans.
Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
In what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
What's happening?
Say there. Can you not hear me?
Oh,
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed.
hi Sojiro.
Come now. There's the door.
Right. Let's go.
This is the Nier I was used to. This is the one that was on the PS3 version. Nier Gestalt. Nier Replicant has the Bishonen version. Okay. This is the world of the recycled vessel, created to avoid the destruction of all. Wait. This is the Shadowlord's castle. I guess I'm going down. Nice remix. Looks like I'm still gaining experience. I'm guessing these guys just take more hits because enemies are... Since I'm on Route B now, enemies have scaled up to be more in line with the level I ended the game at. Honestly, I don't think Kaine should really be all that worried. There's plenty of people that are into the whole Futa thing. She just might not want to be involved with any of them. Suddenly my overpowered sphere feels weak. Feels bad. How long does this go on? So, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Nier we're controlling now is like the real world Nier, and the Nier that we play normally is the Replicant. Maybe I'm wrong. This could just be a callback to PS3 and nothing else, but I don't know about that. Oh, hi. Okay, I'm down here. You got me. Kill the bats. They're annoying. Medicinal herb. Yay! The Black Scrawl, a lost destiny, a white book, a false truth. And now we're at Emil's mansion? Okay. Doesn't look like I'm actually getting any experience for doing this. That's unfortunate. But I guess it makes sense. I'm not playing the same character. Would you stop? I'm trying to kill your friend. Thanks. Good. I hope the story reveals what the Black Scrawl actually is at some point. I am still really curious about that. Is that it? Soldiers' assaults, calling forth white death. They are legion who plunge the world into darkness. Hey. Hey. Wait, am I just one-shotting them? Apparently. All the teleporting keeps fucking up my lock-on. Ooh, new sword. The dragon's corpse brought death to the world, delivering unto it the power of magic. I hate that attack. Huh, I forgot I could do that. Ah, damn it. Stop it. Oh, you got the FF13 trilogy? Nice. Not my favorite trilogies, but at least 13-1 I enjoyed, despite its faults. 13-2 is alright. I couldn't get into 3, but have fun with it, man. And I'll see you around if you are leaving. Will you stop doing that, please? Yeah, to be fair, I didn't really give Lightning Returns much of a chance. I only played it for a couple hours, but the very premise of it just annoyed me. Lightning is now Booby Jesus. Saving the world one soul at a time through her tits. Ow. Yeah, the time limit too was kind of eh. I am digging these songs. They are completely unlike anything else in the game. Light and sickness states the future. They return to souls, something, vessels, something. And now we're in kind of sort of 2D mode. I'm on hard, you know. To be fair, that last enemy was mini-boss. And the enemies I'm fighting now are armored. Oh god, there's so many of them. I would really like it if you stopped, please. Oh, great. Got knocked in the sand. Yes, get out of here. Freaking acrobatic shades, man. I hate them. Need a nap. Alright, Psycho. Hope you feel better, dude. Oops. Well, that ate my jump. Oh. Now, you come back here. Yeah, that's not really doing anything. Let's try Dark Lance. It's a little too dangerous to try and jump over to it. I don't think there's enough room for me. Jesus. What? Why? Bro, why are you facing that way? Oh, nice. His hitbox threw me off. Literally. I mean... it doesn't seem to be able to actually reach me up here, so... Oh, come on. Oh, hi. Okay, that's that. Kabuki outfit. Ooh, I'm getting outfits for doing this? Hell yeah. Oh, cool. I went home. I guess I could probably come back and do stuff later if I want. I'm not actually sure.
My word.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
So wait, it was Vice reading it?
The diary?
Yeah.
The world of the...
Okay, yeah. It does look like it saved my progress once I got through the door. Okay. That's good to know. I just wanted to confirm that. Because I'm getting pretty tired and I'm going to have to go to bed sometime soon because I got to get up way early in the morning. So I'm glad it's not making me do the whole thing all at once.
Something wrong. I know.
So about that outfit. How do outfits work? I'm not really sure. I'm not seeing it in my items. Yeah, I don't know. Guess I'll figure that out later. For now, though, I really do have to be going. This is the last stream of Nier I'm doing this week. Tomorrow and the day after are going to be resuming Doom as a part of Spooktober, even though it's not really a horror game. I mean, Twitch labels it as a horror game, but the only thing that are horrifying are the demons that you're slaughtering. So, yeah, like I said, Doom next 2 days, and then I'm off. And I think on Monday I'm going to be coming back with Resident Evil 8. First time playing it, and it is officially a part of Spooktober. But for now, I'm going to bid everybody good night. And so, as always, thank you all very much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Peace out, my dudes.